Mr. Shiv Khera to Vyapaar Jagat Convention and Awards as our keynote speaker. Thank you so much, sir, for joining and taking out your time. And we officially welcome you, sir. Thank you so much. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I congratulate you for inaugural of your conference today. Folks, my topic is turn setbacks into comebacks. Personally, in my own life, I've had 3 major setbacks. And what helped me come back is what I'm going to share tonight. Number 2 is, I'm not that educated. My academics are, I'm a BCom 3rd division. I failed in my 10th. That's my academics. And I come from a business family, so I have a lot to do with Vyapaar, between you and me. See, we had coal mines in India, close to 1,000 people working. And I didn't create them, but I inherited them. And the mines got nationalized, the government took over. And right from being a mine owner, we came on the street. Street means street. Now, some people had money, our family did not, because my father had died when I was just about finishing college. We were left with the liabilities and the assets were gone. And I was married only 3 weeks then. I remember a year later, my daughter was born, and I sold some of the last piece of my mother's jewelry to get released from the hospital. I did not have $10 to buy milk that night. I tried my hands on 3 businesses with no money, and I failed in all 3. Finally, November 13, 1975, I left India, went to US, initially went to Toronto, and started life with a bucket in my hand, washing cars door to door. तब घर घर जाके बाल्टियां लेके गाड़ी साफ करता था मैं 2 साल. And totally by accident, I got into selling life insurance. And that was, in my opinion, the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. But within 90 days, my manager called me right back to fire me for non-performance. But from here, what were the turning points? I attended a program by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, and that is the day I realized that till then, I kept blaming the whole world for my failure, not realizing that I was my own biggest problem. Nothing changed outside, but something changed inside, and the direction in my life changed. I moved on to the US and got into 3 businesses. I bought out a company out of California in 1984, started a New Jersey operation with no clients, and I sold my company with close to 500 clients. This is my 46 years of journey, and that's it. And that's what I'll be sharing as we go along. Now, folks, this pandemic has literally gone all over the world, and it is causing a lot of uncertainty because nobody knows what is the finish line. Dr. Parmar, are you with me? Nobody knows what is the finish line. When does it finish? Nobody knows. And because of that, there is a lot of insecurity. People are feeling insecure. And that insecurity is leading to anxiety, stress, frustration, depression, even anger. Now, all I can say is stress is both normal and natural. Anybody who says they have no stress, they belong in the lunatic asylum. Folks, you see, and all stress is not bad. The athlete at the Olympics, is he under stress? Answer is yes, because without stress, there's no way he can perform. Now, all I can say is the example that I can think of, we all must have seen in real life or in the movies at the race course. The thoroughbreds, when they are being taken into the cabin, are they walking comfortably, relaxed? Answer is no. They are jumping like this. Why? Because they are under heavy stress. And when they're put into the cabin, and the moment the bell rings, guess what happens? They immediately perform. That's a thoroughbred. But if you take a jackass in the race course, this jackass is walking so relaxed, cool, comfortably. He is not jumping like the thoroughbreds. But then he will remain a jackass and never perform like a thoroughbred. Dr. Parmar, this statement is very important, that stress is the price we pay to be a thoroughbred in life. I will repeat. Stress is the price we pay to be a thoroughbred in life. Now, all of us can handle stress. What we cannot handle is chronic stress. Are you with me, doctor? See, all of us can handle stress. What we cannot handle is chronic stress. When stress becomes chronic, that is the time we start breaking down. Think about it. How come under the same set of circumstances, some people break records while others break themselves? How come? Identical circumstances. Some people break records while others break themselves. How come? All I can say is, let us not overrate this crisis and let us not underrate our strength to fight and win. Now, this crisis has impacted us three ways. One, impacted our life. Two, our livelihood. Three, our lifestyle. How has it impacted our life? Folks, what we do and where we go and who we meet could be a matter of life and death. Are you with me? Where we go, who we meet, and what we do could be a matter of life and death. That's one. Number two, it has impacted our livelihood. See, all over the world, there are job cuts, salary cuts, business. In some cases, many cases has gone down. Some have gone down permanently. Even governments have been impacted. Now, every few years, there is a new buzzword that comes out. 5 years ago, the new buzzword was startup, startup, startup. So everybody was starting up. Then the new buzzword came, make in India, make in India, make in India. So everybody was making in India. Now the new buzzword is work from home, work from home, work from home. Now, fine, in some industries you can work from home, like the IT. But let me ask you, how do you work from home in a construction industry? Can you? Answer is
no.
No. How can you work from home in the manufacturing industry? Can you? Answer is no, you cannot. So many places you can't. Now, I had a banker visit me the other day, and I asked him, I said, you are paying salaries to your staff. Are you getting the output? Can you justify the compensation? And he said one thing, Mr. Khera, the 80-20 rule applies. 20% people are responsible, mature, they can work without supervision. But 80% people, they're not mature. Even if you give them measurable targets, they still need supervision. One. And number two, see, people who are not mature, they think working from home is a paid vacation. It is not a paid vacation. But anyway, there are new normals coming in through hybrids and so on. Now, Praveen, you see, we have a trademark called winners don't do different things, they do things differently. Now, many times people ask me what they do they do differently? And my answer is, winners form the habit of doing things losers don't like to do. And what are the things losers don't like to do? They're the same things winners don't like to do either, but they do it anyway. See, losers don't like to get up in the morning. Winners don't like to get up in the morning either, but they get up anyway. See, losers don't like to work hard. Winners don't like to work hard either, but they work hard anyway. See, they form the habit of doing things losers don't like to do. Now, I'm sure you must have heard, Praveen, लोग बहुत बार ये कहते हैं, साहब इसकी तो किस्मत अच्छी है, मिट्टी को हाथ लगाता है सोना हो जाती है। इसकी किस्मत खराब है, साहब ये सोने को हाथ लगाता है मिट्टी हो जाती है। Now, there is truth in it. If you analyze the person who we call lucky, analyze their life, analyze every transaction in their life, and you will find the positive behavior has become habitual. Every time they do it right, it happens right. And the person we call unlucky, analyze their life, analyze every transaction in their life, and you will find the negative behavior has become habitual. Every time they do it wrong, it happens wrong. The reflexes are moving wrong. Now, I don't care how old we are. While we were growing up, our parents said, form good habits and habits form characters. Because 90% of our behavior is habitual. We don't think, we just act. And if we have positive habits, we are a positive character. If we have negative habits, we are a negative character. And good habits are hard to come by, but they're easy to live with. Bad habits come easy, but they're hard to live with. And before we got the habits got us. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, now you must have heard this phrase, practice makes perfect. Have you heard that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Very
and do you believe it's true? You agree with that? Yes, no?
I do, yes.
Okay. Well, sorry to say, Praveen, that is incorrect answer. Remember this, practice does not make perfect. Practice only makes permanent whatever we practice. Only perfect practice makes perfect. Some people keep practicing their mistakes and they become perfect in making mistakes. I'm not playing on words. Let me give you an example. In martial art, when they get the white belt, yellow, orange, purple, green, brown, black belt, 5 years later, this martial arts student is practicing the same thing what he learned when he got the white belt. And what is that? Block, punch, block, punch, block, punch. But when they start, these young kids want to hit hard. At that time, the teacher says, go slow, go slow, go slow. Learn the right form. If your form is incorrect, that will become permanent. The wrong form will become permanent. Learn the right form, go slow. Because if your form is incorrect and you have speed, you'll fracture your own hand. Remember, practice does not make perfect. Practice only makes permanent whatever you practice. So many times people say, "Ye to chota jhoot hai." This is a small lie. When the big one comes, I'll tell the truth. You practice enough little lies in your life. When the big one comes, what happens? You end up telling a big lie. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Practice does not make perfect. Practice only makes permanent whatever we practice. Now I'll share, you see, when I was selling life insurance, I was on 100% commission. I had no salary. If I didn't sell, I wouldn't get any money, and I had no money. But there I saw there were some people in a company getting salaries, but they were not doing the job. And that is where I learned the difference between making money versus earning money. Making money is criminal. Earning money is spiritual. Are you with me? I repeat, Praveen. Making money is criminal. Earning money is spiritual. Now, what is the difference? When you earn it, you put your energy and ethics behind it. That is called earning money. And people need to understand that wages without work amounts to stealing. We need to bring our ethics back right. Now, folks, that is our livelihood part. And then comes the lifestyle. How is impacted our lifestyle? Folks, till now, till the lockdown came in, all of us were in the fast lane. We were running. We had no time. Now, look at this. The amount of time-saving devices we have today, we have never had that many in history. And yet, we don't have what? We don't have time. You know why we don't have time? Because somewhere we messed up our priorities. And I'm not giving lectures here. I'm guilty myself. You see, when we mess up our priorities, we forget to distinguish between what's urgent in life and what's important in life. See, urgent may or may not be important, and important may or may not be urgent. But the interesting thing is, whenever we ignore what is important, it always converts into urgent. See, health is important, but it's not urgent. Exercising every day is important, but it's not urgent. Now, if I have a crucial meeting tonight, and if I cannot exercise, It's not the end of the world. But if I ignore my health long enough, guess what happens? I will land up in the hospital. See, you ignore what is important, it always converts into urgent. Now, in life, relationships are important, but they're not urgent. But if you ignore relationship long enough, guess what happens? You start talking through your lawyers. See, folks, whenever we ignore what's important, it always converts into urgent. You see, this crisis, what it has done is literally made people step backwards and reevaluate the priorities. You ask people, why do you go to work? I go to work for my family. Why do you work hard? I work hard for my family. Who are the most important people in your life? My family. Who are the most neglected? Also my family. What a joke. Sadly, the most important people also become the most neglected, which is sad, but it happens that way sometimes. So what this crisis has done is made people realize that till now we were running all right, but check, were we running in the right direction? And now people have realized that in life, direction is much more important than speed. Are you with me?
Absolutely.
In life, direction is more important than speed. Now, folks, how do you overcome this crisis? Normally, if I have time, I have 9 steps on it, but I'm not sure if I'll have the time, but at least I will cover 4 or 5 of them today. Folks, 46 years ago in New York, I attended a program by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, the man who wrote the book Power of Positive Thinking. And there were 1,000 people. I was one of them. Dr. Peale came, looked at everybody, and said, "You people appear so cool and calm and comfortable. It appears nobody has a problem here." Then he asked, "Does anyone have a problem here?" Now, who doesn't have a problem? So everybody raised their hand. Yes, we have problems. Then he asked, how many people would like to get rid of their problem? Again, everybody raised their hand. Then Dr. Peale said, while I was coming here, 2 blocks away from here, I saw there were some people lying down, all comfortable, totally relaxed. They had no problem whatsoever. How many people would like to know where that place is? So everybody raised their hand. Then Dr. Peale said, 2 blocks away from here, there is a cemetery. साहब 200 गज दूर यहाँ से एक शमशान घाट है. There are people lying there, all stretched out, comfortable, relaxed. They have no problem whatsoever. Then he asked, how many people would like to get rid of that problem? Nobody raised their hand. Everybody put their hand in their pocket. And then Dr. Peale said, remember, problem is a sign of life. So long as we are alive, we shall have problems. The day we don't have problem, we'll be dead. And that day, he gave a prayer, which is called the Serenity Prayer. And for the past 46 years, Praveen, I have been using this prayer every day, and it has helped me overcome a lot of adversities. And in my opinion, this is the crux of life, gist of life. And the prayer goes like this. God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, and courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference what I can and what I cannot. I'll say that in Hindi. परमात्मा मुझे संतुलन दो, जो मैं बदल नहीं सकता आपकी सौगात समझ के स्वीकार करूं, और अगर बदल सकता हूं तो मुझे इतनी हिम्मत और हौसला दो कि उसे बदल दूं, और इतनी सुबुद्धि दो कि उनमें फर्क बता सकूं, क्या बदल सकता हूं और क्या मैं
नहीं बदल सकता.
God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. Now, if you dissect this little prayer, there are many things in life that we just cannot change. They are beyond us. Tell me, Can we change everything in this world to suit ourselves? Answer is no. Can we mold everything to manipulate and suit ourselves? Answer is no. There are many things beyond, such as, I didn't choose my parents, neither did you. I didn't decide where I was going to be born, neither did you. If this is my height and the color of my skin, there's nothing I can do. And granted, sometimes people are born deformed. What wrong did they do? And sometimes bad things do happen to good people for no fault of their own. What wrong did they do? Who knows? See, folks, many times in life, we keep fighting the things we just cannot change. And we bring stress into our lives and we become paralyzed. So it says, what I cannot change, let me accept it graciously, not grudgingly. And if I can change, then give me the courage to do it. And wisdom to know what I can and what I cannot. So now, when I wrote my new book, You Can Achieve More, I think I'll send you one if you send me your details, your address, Praveen.
Sure, sir.
I took this thought 2 steps forward. In my book, I wrote in that life is full of choices and life is full of compromises. It seems like a contradiction, but not really. See, Praveen, if I ill-treat you, I have chosen to be ill-treated, haven't I? If I treat you with discourtesy, I have chosen to be treated with discourtesy, haven't I? If I light up a cigarette, I've chosen to invite cancer, haven't I? See, if I drink and drive, I have chosen to invite an accident, haven't I? So if I exercise every day, I have chosen to invite good health, haven't I? See, and if I tell lies, I have chosen to lose my credibility, haven't I? And if I tell the truth, I have chosen to be a credible person, haven't I? See, remember, life is full of choices. Now, important thing is, we are all free to the point of choice, but after we make our choices, the choice controls the chooser. We have no more choice. Our choice finishes. Our freedom finishes. Now, how is life full of compromises? As somebody said, well, in life, we cannot choose the cards that are dealt to us. What we can choose is how we play the game. And sometimes nature gives us a lemon. The choice is ours. Do we cry or do we make lemonade? That's our choice. Now, many times people ask me, Praveen, that people who are successful, don't they ever make mistakes? And people who fail in life, don't they do positive things in life? Folks, here is my answer. People who succeed in life, they do make mistakes. But remember, making a mistake once in a while does not bring failure. Repeating the same mistake again and again is what brings failure. And doing something positive once in a while does not bring success either. Repeating the same positive behavior again and again is what brings success. So what is success? Series of positive decisions in life is called success. And series of negative decisions in life is called failure. Are you with me?
Absolutely.
Are you with me?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, good. And I see Aditya Kumar is also right there.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Very right.
folks, that is one part. Step two. Folks, convert wasted time to productive time. Convert wasted time to productive time. How do you convert that? In my book, You Can Achieve More, I have given a survey from US. It said that an average American watches 4 hours of TV per day. 4 hours of TV per day. Now, it's not the average American. It is European, Indian, Australian. Everybody's watching 4 hours of TV per day. Right now, that was before the pandemic. Right now, there are people watching 8 hours of TV per day, 9 hours, 10 hours, who knows what. Now, a man went to a friend who used to watch 4 hours of TV per day, and he asked him, how much did this TV cost you? So he said, it cost me $1,000. He said, well, you probably don't know how to calculate the money value of your time, Praveen. He said, you don't know how to calculate the money value of your time. He said, what does that mean? He said, what is your annual income? He said, I make $100,000 per year. And he said, how many hours do you work a year? He said, 2,000 hours. And he said, then your hourly rate is $50 an hour. And you watch 4 hours of TV per day, 50 times multiplied with 4 hours, that is $200 per day. And you watch 365 days a year, multiply 365, it comes to $85,000 per year, which is more than your EMI on $1 million home. How do you like that? Which is $85,000 a year, which is more than your EMI on $1 million home. That is the time you are wasting in life.
Absolutely.
Now, folks, don't get me wrong. We all enjoy TV, nice movie, it relaxes us. But watching 4 hours every day, what are you doing? You are wasting your life. Now, folks, in the same book, You Can Achieve More, I have given another survey which said that 85% of millionaires and billionaires in the world today are first generation. Aditya, 85% of millionaires and billionaires in the world are first generation. Only 15% coming from inheritance.
Right.
So they were asked, how did you achieve so much financial success in such a short time? And the answer was that we read books. How many books? 50 books a year. 50 books a year comes to 1 book a week. 1 book per week. Warren Buffett, if you Google on him, he reads every day 6 to 8 hours per day, Warren Buffett. Bill Gates is an avid reader. And they were asked, what kind of books do you read? They said, we have no time to waste. We only read self-help books, no fiction. Why? They said from a self-help book, one good idea is worth $1 million. One good idea is worth $1 million. Tell me, how many ideas do we need to succeed in life? Only one. And they read 50 books a year, 1 book a week. That means there is a tremendous connection between learning and earning and learning and earning and learning and earning. Learn more, earn more, learn more, earn more. There are many people who say, I have no time. They won't read books. Folks, and I also learned one more thing, that a serious reader will never borrow or lend books. Never. They will never borrow or lend books.
Just buy.
Many times people come to me and they say, Mr. Khera, I got a great new book. I can lend it to you. I said, don't. Either give it to me, gift it to me, sell it to me. Don't lend it to me. Why? Because I won't give it back to you. Why? Because when I read a book, I always underline and make notes on the side. Why? Because I learned one thing, that reading a good book once is not good enough. Now, I'll give you an example why I say this. Arrow Electronics, it's a $26 billion company in US. They're my clients. About 9 months ago, they celebrated the bumper quarter, $2 billion in sale during the pandemic, $2 billion in sales. So I asked him, I said, what made you get your business go up when people are hurting, you're going up your business? And he said, Mr. Khera, you probably don't know. 10 years ago, I attended your leadership program. And he said, you had a stall at the back. You were selling audios, videos, and books. He said, I bought your stall, entire stall, I bought it. He said, I bought a few hundred of your books and everything because he was the managing director of Arrow Electronics. And he said, I have 700-800 people working in my company. He said, I gave your book to everybody. You Can Win and the others. And he says, they read your book every year, once a year, your book is being read every year in my company. He said, I have read your book 20 times. If you forget a paragraph in your own book, call me, I'll tell you where it is. He says, we just don't read. He says, we practice it. That is where I learned that reading a good book once is not good enough. And sometimes people say, I've read your book once. I said, you wasted your time and money also. Now, folks, if during this pandemic, if we have not upskilled ourselves or become more knowledgeable or become healthier and fitter, we cannot blame that we had no time. Folks, this lockdown came in March last year. I did my first webinar on April 8th. Aditya, till April 8th, sir, I did not know. I was learning to do SMS for my grandchildren. I didn't know how to do SMS. In my life, I have never done an email. And I did not know, Praveen, how to run a computer. I didn't know how to do it. I learned, I'm not an expert even now, but I've started operating the computer. And since April 8th to date, I have done 183 webinars, including yours tonight. And many of them, most of them are paid. I'm not doing free webinars. I am paid for it. Pricewaterhouse, Kotak, all these Namuras, they're paying money for it. This has opened up a new avenue. So one, I have upskilled myself. Two, see, at one time I used to read 30, 40 books a year. I dropped the habit. I started picking up. Now today I read 2 to 3 hours per day right now. So I'm getting more knowledgeable. And three, I was 95 kilos before. Now I'm 83 kilos. I've lost 12 kilos of weight. Exercise every day. Folks, let me ask you, if during this pandemic, if you have not upskilled yourself or become more knowledgeable or become healthy and fitter, can we blame that we had no time? Answer is no, we can't do that. So convert wasted time to productive time. And step three, if you want to overcome any crisis, turn setback into comeback, build strong relationships. Very crucial, build strong relationships. Folks, our biggest asset in life is not our bank account, bank balance, it is our relationship balance. Have you noticed one thing, Praveen, that people who have good relationships, what they can achieve with one phone call, you cannot achieve with $1 million. Are you with me?
Absolutely, sir. 100%.
And now I address, of course, colleges, MBA students, many different parts of the world. They teach an MBA today, go network, go build contacts, join Chamber of Commerce, Vyapaar Jagat, or Lions or Rotaries, join them and build your contacts. You ask them, what are you doing? I'm networking. Ask them, why are you networking? I'm building contacts. Why are you building contacts? He's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's a politician, he's a who knows what. He could be useful someday. He could be useful someday. Usefulness goes, friendship also goes. So they do not understand the difference. There is a big difference between building contacts versus building relationships. Are you with me?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. 100%.
There's a big difference between building contacts versus building relationships. Now, we have an office in Singapore. One evening I came from dinner and a man asked me, sir, you came from dinner? I said, yes. You met some people tonight? I said, yes. He asked me, I hope you met some people who could be useful to you. I felt like giving him a piece of my mind. This guy's criteria of meeting people was only what? Usefulness. What he can extract out of you. Now, this person does not understand one thing, that meeting good people in life is good enough. Usefulness is a byproduct of relationship. Are you with me, Aditya?
Absolutely. Who is in your room is
byproduct of relationship. See, example, if I have a friend for 20 years And if he has a problem tonight, who is the most natural person he will go for help to? A friend of 20 years. He's not going to make new friends tonight. Is it my duty to help? Answer is yes. It is my duty to help. And if I don't help him, am I being like a friend? No. So remember one thing. Helping a friend is a duty of a friend. It is never the purpose of friendship. Because if it is the purpose, purpose finishes, friendship finishes also. Helping each other is a duty, never a purpose of friendship. Because if it is a purpose, purpose finishes, friendship also finishes. Now, what makes relationship strong? What builds relationship? You see, none of us is perfect. We all make mistakes. Therefore, we must be tolerant of each other. Would you agree, Praveen, that tolerance is a good word? Yes, no, just thumbs up. Aditya, thumbs up. Okay. Thumbs up, Praveen, yes, no. Okay. Both of you give the wrong answer. Let me share with you. In my opinion, tolerance is not a good word. I will replace that word with mutual respect. Mutual respect. See, Praveen, I and my wife live together not because we can tolerate each other. We live together because we respect each other.
Balanced relationship.
Respect each other. The day respect goes, we cannot live together. You know, if we only live because we can tolerate each other, what it means? It means postponing the blast. See, same thing. Employers and employees work long-term together, not because they can tolerate each other. They work long-term together because they respect each other. The day the respect goes, you cannot work together. And we need to learn one thing, that what breeds respect is our value system. Our values match. And we must learn that in life, to build relationships, we must learn to give. You cannot be a taker in life. You must learn to give. Are you with me?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Give us.
Now, step 4. Step 4, if you want to build and overcome stress and turn setback to comeback, folks, become a proactive person. Become a proactive person, not a reactive person. See, I bet most people who are listening today, they are all leaders. They are all leaders in some form or the other. What does that mean? We do 4-day leadership programs. We've been doing it now 35 years. And many times in our program, we ask people, are you a good person? Many times they say, yes, I'm a good person. And you ask them, what makes you good? Then they say, well, I don't do bad, so I'm good. I don't tell lies, I don't cheat, I don't steal, so I'm good. And my answer is, I disagree with your answer. Folks, not doing bad does not make a person good. If I don't tell lies, it only means I'm not a liar, but that does not make me good. If I don't steal, it only means I'm not a thief, but that does not make me good. Folks, absence of not doing bad does not make a person good. Pareen, go ask a medical doctor. Pareen, stay with me. Go ask a medical doctor. Absence of ill health does not mean good health. So a person does not become good because they don't do bad. They become good when they proactively do good. That is what proactive is all about. Now, I've learned one thing, that a good leader always takes a stand for something and takes a stand against something. A good leader is never neutral. And if you're neutral, you are a politician. Are you with me?
Yes.
A good leader takes a stand for something, takes a stand against something. He's not neutral. And if you're neutral, you are a politician. I'll share with you an example once. I was doing a program for about 4,000 or 5,000 people. And a man from the audience came up and he asked me, Mr. Khera, are you a Gandhian? So Aditya, I've learned one thing. You see, don't answer questions till you clarify, number one. And number two, sometimes the best answer to a question is a question. So I asked him, sir, can you tell me who's a Gandhian? What's a Gandhian? And what are the principles of being a Gandhian? So he said Gandhi stood on three principles in life. One, Gandhi believed that with love, you can win everybody. Number two, Gandhi believed in the principle of tolerance. And three, Gandhi believed in the principle of non-violence. Praveen, he said non-violence. Three things. So he asked me again, are you a Gandhian? I don't know what came to my mind. I said, I've been living in the US for the past 45 years, but I'm an Indian. And we respect our epics, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, and Guru Granth Sahib. I've not read them, but I've heard them. So I don't know what came to my mind. Aditya, I asked him, sir, can you tell me, was Ram a Gandhian? Was Ram a Gandhian? And let us look at the three principles of being a Gandhian. Number one, was he able to win with love everybody in this world? Answer is no, he was not. So Ram failed the first test. Two, you said tolerance. Did Ram say, I'm a very tolerant guy? You kidnap my wife, it's okay, I'll get a second one. You kidnap a second one, I'll get a third one. You kidnap a third one, I'll get a fourth one. Did he say that? He said, no, I do not tolerate kidnappers. And three, you said non-violence. What did Ram do? He pulled out his weapon and he killed that evil. That is violence, even for self-defense. So I said, Ram failed the third test also. You see, Ram, that means, was not a Gandhian. And then, did Ram say, I'm neutral? Did Ram say, let us compromise? No. He took a stand for something, took a stand against something. Ram didn't say, I'm a neutral. Folks, that means Ram was not a Gandhian. I said, why go that far? Look at the life history of 10 Sikh gurus. When the Mughals were forcibly converting into Islam, at that time, the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib, was he able to win with love? Answer is no. Did he say, I'm going to tolerate your terrorism? He said no. Did he pull out the weapon? He fought. He was not a Gandhian either. He did faith all the tests. Folks, remember one thing. I asked this man, I said, you appear to be very learned, read all the epics. I said, tell me, in which Granth does it say, when enemy is auctioning the respect and dignity of your women and children, where does it say at that time you should go to the temples and pray to God at that time and do meditation? I said, damn it, that is the time to fight. Not fighting is called cowardice. And I said, take it here, understand clearly, I am not a Gandhian. I am not a Gandhian. You need to be a proactive person in life. If you want to be a good leader, take a stand. Take a stand. Otherwise, you're a politician, that's all. Okay. The last step, I'm going to talk about it at this time, and I'm going to close the program. Lastly, folks, last step on overcoming stress and turning a setback into a comeback. Folks, faith gives strength, but blind faith leading to superstition weakens people. Aditya, are you with me? Blind faith leading to superstition weakens people. वो कहते हैं सब विश्वास इंसान को ताकत देता है, लेकिन अंधविश्वास इंसान को कमजोर बनाता है. Now, we need to accept responsibility in life. One of the biggest damage done to India has been done by our media, print media or electronic media. Anytime you open the TV, what do you see? there is a Babaji, Guruji, Maharaj, Shastriji wearing saffron clothes. भगवा पहन के बैठे हैं या सफेद पहन के बैठे हैं, 3 तिलक इधर 3 तिलक इधर, and they are asking the person, what do you see? Horoscope, horoscope. And कहते साहब नाम बताओ, जन्म तिथि बताओ, जन्म टाइम बताओ, कहां पैदा हुए बताओ. And he says, Guruji, I don't know. He said, don't worry. He has a laptop in front of you. Aditya, he has a laptop. And he does tick, 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 tick. And then he says, दूसरा तीसरे के घर में बैठा है, तीसरा चौथे के घर में बैठा है, चौथा पांचवे के घर में बैठा है, छठा घर में बैठा है. And फिर कहता है मंगलिक 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 मंगली हो गए, मंगलिक बन गए भाई. And then he says, तुम्हारे पे शनि चढ़ गया, शनि चढ़ गया, शनि चढ़ गया, शनि चढ़ गया. Now Praveen, this guy is scared. He said, how do I get rid of शनि? कहता साहब शनि को उतारने का उपाय ये है, एक काला रुमाल लो, उसके अंदर काली दाल डालो, फिर काला काजल लगाओ, काले बाल वाला खोजो, उसके ऊपर 7 बारी खोपड़ी पे घुमाओ, काला कुत्ता खोजो, काला बर्तन खोजो. What a joke. What a joke. My question to you is it, if it is so easy to get shani in, shani out, shani in, shani out, shani in, shani out, इतना आसान है, तो एक बात बताइए, भेजो शनि को पाकिस्तान सारे टेररिस्ट को मरवा दो. हेलो. If it is so easy to get shani in, shani out, shani in, shani out, तो भेजो शनि को लद्दाख चाइना से लड़वा दो. आदित्य, मैं आपसे एक बात पूछना चाहता हूं कि यार प्रवीण, शनि परमानेंटली इंडिया में क्यों रहता है यार? कभी ऑस्ट्रेलिया क्यों नहीं जाता? Why is Shani permanently sitting here? Why doesn't Shani go to New Zealand? अरे जाता ही नहीं है यार, परमानेंट यहीं बैठा हुआ है. Why am I sharing this with you? If you read the life history of Swami Vivekananda, Swami Dayanand, Guru Nanak, they never believed in all these things. And not only they did not believe, they fought against it. They fought against it. In fact, Praveen, I'm sure you are aware that, do you know, in the Guru Nanak fought against it in Sikh families. They never tally horoscopes. There is no Manglik in a Sikh family. And there is no Shubh Muhurat. Every wedding for a Sikh is done on a Sunday. And Sunday doesn't sit right, they do it on a Saturday. Saturday doesn't sit right, they do it on a Friday. साहब मैं आपसे ये बात क्यों कह रहा हूं? क्योंकि there was an article, ये देखिए आदित्य, ध्यान से देखिएगा, लिखा है सुपरस्टिशन. सुपरस्टिशन लिखा है प्रवीण.
Yes, sir.
This article came out in India today, January 2018 issue. He said, because of superstition and astrology, in many parts of India, natural childbirth has gone down by 80%. The article, 80% has gone down. And they've quoted here, South India, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Madras. Go Google it, check it out right now. You will find 80% of childbirth there is done through C-section operation. You know why? Some astrologers said, this is good time to pull out the kid. How do you like that? This is good time to pull out the kid. What a joke. Some night, buddy, I was going to the airport and the driver hit the brake so hard, car came to a screeching halt. Gaadi ruk gayi sahab. I asked him कि भैया क्या बात हो गई? बोले साहब बिल्ली रास्ता काट गई. बिल्ली रास्ता काट गई. तो I said, अब क्या होगा? बोले अब शगुन है, अब जाएंगे तो कुछ नुकसान हो जाएगा. I said, नहीं जाएंगे तो if I miss my flight, बहुत नुकसान हो जाएगा. So I said, what are you going to do now? He said, I'll stop the car. I said, till how long? बोले जब तक दूसरा कोई और नहीं निकल जाए. Let somebody else pass. Then I asked him कि भैया उसका नुकसान हो जाएगा. बोले that's his problem. But then I asked him, Praveen, कि मान लीजिए आप 15 गज पहले होते and the cat had crossed the road, and if you had not seen the cat, then you would have gone straight and you would have been the first car. In that case, फिर क्या होता? साहब उसका जवाब सुनिए, कहता है साहब उस हालत में बिल्ली की पावर कम हो जाती है. हाउ डू यू लाइक दैट? आदित्य कहता है बिल्ली की पावर कम हो जाती है. हाउ डू यू लाइक दैट? साहब आप लोग हंस रहे हैं, जानते हो पढ़े लिखे पीएचडी एमबीए यही कुछ कर रहे हैं साहब. And that is a sad part. Now, why am I sharing this with you? For one important reason. There are people who keep running to all these Babajis, Gurujis, and they touch their feet. The guy should be in jail, man. What are we talking here? एक आदमी कहता है जलेबी खाई थी कल, नहीं खाई थी, फलाना खाया था, नहीं खाया था. And that is the problem. Folks, life, Praveen, does not always go up, 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 up. Life is a roller coaster. It goes up and down. Yes, no, Aditya. It goes up and down. That's right. And when there is a down in life, people who are looking to get somewhere in life, they analyze the situation and they ask themselves this question: if a similar situation came again, will I behave the same way? If the answer is yes, means you have not learned anything. They learn from it and accept responsibility, and they don't repeat their mistakes. But if a person is going nowhere, you know when things go wrong, what they say? Not my fault, my stars are not favoring me. They never learn anything from it. They keep repeating the same mistake again and again, and they say, I'm unlucky. I saw one person wearing 10 rings. All different stones, 10. I said, 10 नीचे भी पहना है क्या पाँव में? 10 strings like this. Now, the only one thing I want to say is, somebody asked me a question that, Mr. Khera, there are people who go to temples and they wait in line for 10, 12 hours. 10, 12 घंटे दर्शन के लिए वेट करते हैं. Is that faith or blind faith? क्या विश्वास है या अंधविश्वास? So my answer to them is, Praveen, my answer is, folks, I pray every day. Why do I pray? Because I believe in God. Now, why do I believe in God? Have I seen God? Who is God? Where is God? What is God? Do I have the answer to any of these things? No. If I don't have answers to all these questions, then why do I believe in God? Isn't that blind faith? Now, here is my answer. Folks, I believe in God because this universe, the planet, the sun, the moon, everything, the flora, the fauna, the forest, everything. There are so many things in this world today, they are totally unexplained. And if this is unexplained, it could be either a miracle or a mystery. I don't know what it is, but it could be anything. But all this universe, flora, fauna, forest, plants, sun, moon, everything, this is not the work of any human being, no human being. It is something superhuman. If it is superhuman, there must be a superpower. And that superpower I call God. That's all. But in the last 45 years, 50 years, I've hardly gone to a temple except 3, 4 times, 6 times. That's all. And I feel very strongly that most people who go to temples today, they go there out of fear than out of faith. अरे ये नहीं करोगे ये हो जाएगा, ये नहीं करोगे ये हो जाएगा, ये नहीं करोगे ये हो जाएगा. साहब, we have to get out of all this. This has ruined our country completely. We need to learn to accept responsibility in life. And folks, with that, I'm going to close this program. This is time to give back. We are grateful to God that God has blessed us with a good home and honorable food. Many people don't have it even that today. It is time for us to give and share with them. There is one community, Praveen,
Yes,
who
sir.
has been honored all over the world. Aditya, ध्यान से सुनिएगा. So this community has been honored all over the world by the government of Canada. Praveen, आपने सुना होगा. Government of Canada, US, UK, Australia, New Zealand. One community has been honored all over the world for the humanitarian service, and that community is the Sikh community of India has been honored everywhere in the world. You know why? Because the concept of langar and sharing is not new. It goes back 500 years ago from Guru Nanak's time. And because the Sikhi believes in three principles: caring, sharing, daring. The caring people, they care. The sharing people, they share. And the daring people, they dare. They have the guts to fight. And Sikhi says very clearly, zulm karna paap hai, zulm sehna usse bhi bada paap hai. And Sikhi stands on three pillars: Nam jap, one chak, kirat kar. Nam jap, one God, formless God. Two, one chak is the concept of langar, is sharing. And kirat kar, Praveen, a president who is sanstha ke, and you have a lot of experience in your life, Aditya. Kirat kar is the dignity of labor. Dignity of labor. No work is small. You need to earn an honorable living, earn up. जिंदगी में आदित्य प्रवीण आज तक आपने कभी किसी सरदार को भीख मांगते देखा है? Have you ever seen a beggar, a sardar? You know something? They never do this. It is not ego, अहंकार नहीं है साहब. They will clean your shoes, they will clean your toilet, but they will not beg. You know why? They feel no work is small. कोई काम छोटा नहीं है साहब, ईमानदारी से पैसे कमाओ. No work is small. And the best part is in Sikh families, there is no caste. आदित्य आपने देखा है उनके अंदर जात नहीं होती साहब. Every Sikh man's last name is a Singh. Every Sikh woman's last name is a Kaur. There is no other name. I wish in India, if we had adopted the Sikh philosophy, the principle of Sikhi to run this country instead of our own constitution, this country would have been totally a different country today. Folks, with those words, I will take your leave. I wish you all the best. God bless you. Everybody stay well and happy and healthy. Folks, I hand over the mic back to the president.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your I think life journey and sharing all your experiences. And it clearly shows that your research, your depth of understanding of the leadership and the entrepreneurship in such an interesting way produced one of the most memorable day in Vyapaar Jagat history, let me tell you. And with the same, I request all the participants to give a huge round of applause. I know you are remote, you are not within the room, but still I request all of you to please give a huge round of applause for Mr. Shiv Khera. And sir, I know that you are really running short of time. A lot of questions people will have, but I have one small question. You are the author, and the 8 million copies sold for your books. So, sir, apart from books which are written by you, what are the 2 or 3 books you want to recommend to the early risers, the startups, the entrepreneurs, which they must read?
Praveen, let me ask you: are you Delhi based, or Aditya? Are you Delhi based or elsewhere? Are you based in Delhi?
No. I do base it in Ahmedabad, sir, Gujarat.
Ahmedabad.
Yes, I'm in Ahmedabad.
Okay. Just send me your telephone number so we'll be in touch with you. But let me answer your question on the 2 other books I will recommend. I will recommend one book very strongly, and that is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Right.
See, I have 3-4 books. You can win, you can achieve more, you can sell. Okay. But I would recommend also Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Very good book, excellent book.
Right.
And one more book would be Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And one more excellent book is I'm Okay, You Are Okay. It is by Thomas Harris. Excellent book. And that's 3 more books that you have. They're excellent books, but well, I'm sure people will read it. And keep in mind, there is a tremendous connection between learning and earning, and learning and earning, and learning and earning. Multimillionaires, billionaires read 1 book a week. 1 book a week.
It's a great lesson for all of us. Thank you so much, sir, once again. We are really grateful for your time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences with Vyapaar Jagat Convention and Awards 2021 to make Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you so much, sir, for joining, and I really appreciate your presence and the contribution. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.